you doing? Russell, TrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness, putting the healing back in health. Once again as well, also check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Those links are down below as well. Join the community. Let's get growing and let's start showing people what change is really like in our lives. Coming at you today with a video on the top exercises for hip issues, right? We all have hip issues, and usually that's going to lead to a lot of low back pain, shoulder pain, and things like that, or the sciatic pain, mainly low back and the pain that shoots down the hip, or down the leg into the calf and foot. We've got to remember as well, though, that it's always going to start at the feet. It's usually always going to start at the feet, but we're going to go with the hips right now. So when I injured my knee, some of these I got from physical therapy. Some of them are just other exercises that I know of. So the beginning, we're going to start with the basic pelvic tilt. Now this one seems, like I said, these exercises are more rehabilitation, because when we have these pain issues in these areas, it's usually going to be because our posture is messed up and our body is static in the wrong position. So the first one is simple. It's going to be the pelvic tilt. So you're laying on the ground here, right? And we're just going to tilt the pelvis. So we're going to go down and up. You can see right there, here and here. Tilting, kind of like a dog tucks his tail, and then arching your back. Tuck your tail, arch your back. Now what you want to do is find the two extremes. So completely arched, and when I completely arch, I get a lot of shooting pain in my low back. I have low back issues myself. So here now we're going to tuck under, and we're going to find the two extremes. All the way tucked under, all the way arched. And then you want to be able to find neutral. Where is neutral? And right about there. So that's neutral. That's where we want to make sure we're at. Now there's also something called somatics, and what that is engaging a muscle and then releasing it, because sometimes our muscles can get stuck in a state of contraction and they don't know how to release. So when you're in that low, you arch. Like I said, when I arch, I can feel pain. So you want to arch it, you need to over-contract it so the brain knows, and then release it and tuck it under. And let the brain now get that mind-muscle connection of, oh, I've been engaged the whole time. I haven't released. So now you're teaching it how to release. This is called somatics. Once again, it's proprioception is a technical term. It's understanding what your body is doing within its environment. This goes for any postural movement. So tuck it under, come back, tilt it this way, and then relax it, find neutral, and neutral is where we want to be. We need to train the brain to understand neutral, okay? Next, we'll go on our side. This is very simple. This is going to be the clam. You can do it with a band around your knees. This one's very simple. So we're going to come here, and this one's going to activate the actual hip and those deep muscles. So we're just going to come up and we're just going to lift, feeling these muscles engaged, and then bringing them back down. The biggest mistake that people make is we go here and then we open up. We're not trying to open up the hip, because now we're losing the contraction here in that glute. So we're just coming here and we're just opening to where we can feel engagement, contraction, and back down. You can have something for your head if you want, but we're coming up here and we're only going with what our range of motion is. We're not trying to force it open. Once we force it open, we lose contraction and we lose activation of that muscle. So we're here, up, and back down. Very simple. Like I said, they seem stupid, but trust me, they're going to help you a lot. Next is going to be that same thing. Now we got to remember, we've got multiple planes of motion, front to back, side to side, and rotational. So we got to make sure that we are engaging the hips in all those different planes of motion, okay? So next we're going to lay down and we're going to go side to side. That's going to be kind of our rotational movement. But once again, remember, and I forgot to mention this on the last one, right now I'm really arched. We got to make sure we're finding neutral So go back to that last exercise and make sure that we are neutral, because I was arched. Why? Because I have that low back pain. My low back is engaged, so I need to make sure I'm finding neutral. So once again, we're here, tilt the pelvis, find neutral right there, and hold neutral. Now once again, we usually go into the arch, because as you can see in neutral, I really only have about here. But when I arch, I can go farther. See that? When I arch, I go farther. Once again, it's not about how far you can go. It's about finding neutral, keeping the spine where it needs to be, stabilizing the spine, and then going side to side. If we get to the point where we can touch, we're in a super arch. You can see right there. The only way I can get this knee to touch is when I arch. And that's not what we want. We want to find neutral, stability within the core, side to side, and letting the abdominals and the hips know how to work when the spine is stabilized. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Next, once again, it's that proprioception. It's just bringing the legs in, bringing them back out. Very simple, seems stupid. But like I said, and then once again, neutral spine. I felt myself arching again there. So bring it in, contract them, even mind-muscle connection, making sure each leg is contracted equally, and then back out, spine and neutral. Spine and neutral. Don't let the spine arch. Spine and neutral. You can do the same thing, bring the feet together, and now we're going to go out. Kind of like that clam if you want to do it this way instead. But once again, it's always being aware of what the lumbar spine is doing. Is it in neutral or is it arched? Usually you're going to be arched. Okay? And that's when they say people with a lot of low back pain, you can't even lay your legs straight without encountering low back pain. That's definitely a sign of you're arched up. So we need to get out of that arched mode, and at all times we just need to be aware of where neutral is and then perform all these different exercises. And last, we're going to go with that up-down motion. You're going to need a step. You can do this on stairs. If you want, I just have a step here. And once again, it's that same movement. So we're going to come here, right? I just went out of the screen with my big old noggin. So we're going to come here. I'll go sideways for you. I think that my head still might be out. But we're going to come here. You need a wall if you can, just to hold on to. Once again, we don't want to be here. We want to find neutral, kind of tuck that under, let that hip drop a little bit, this side, and bring it back up and arch it. Once again, right when I brought it up, I don't know if you saw that. I came down, I was neutral, but when I came up, I arched that back. Just arching it shut that pain down my leg. So once again, we got to keep it neutral, come down, keep neutral, keep neutral, keep neutral, keep neutral, come back down. Come up, keep neutral, back up, down, keep neutral, up. And once again, it's doing it on both sides, and it's being aware of what your hips are doing, and your low back and your core, making sure everything is right. So once again, it's find neutral. You can go here, you can do your pelvic tilt while standing. Find neutral right there, come down, back up, keeping neutral, keeping that spine, that low back, that lumbar spine flat, and back up, down, and back up. Once again, it's remembering to keep the midsection, the lumbar spine flat, or at least in neutral, and coming up, okay? So there you go. Those are the basics. We've got the clam, right? We have the clam. Once again, we don't want the hips to rotate. Now we have the pelvic tilts, the clam, then we had the side to side, then we had the legs wide and came in, and then we had the standing hip raise. Okay, those are the basic movements that are going to help you with your hip pain. You can do these at home. You don't even need a gym. And once again, we've got to understand that these are more of rehabilitation exercise because your hips are dysfunctional. Your low back is dysfunctional, and that's why you have a lot of these pains. Okay, popping my knee. So, once again, I hope this helps. Remember, proprioception, awareness of what your body is doing within time and space. This goes with the shoulders when you're at the desk, your feet when you're walking, your knees when you're walking. All these different things are going to have an effect on the pain within your body. So once again, don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. All those links are in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.